Hi there, folks. It's Ic0n, and this is part 3 of our run with the Formicid Abyssal Knight. Happy you guys joined in again. Welcome to another episode. And today we're gonna start out at Lair 6. And before we begin to play, I want to point out that I've increased my social media presence here. If you like, check out some links below or leave me a like or something like that. Would make me really happy. And yeah, enough of that. Let's get into gaming. We're sitting at some good equipment for this point of the game. We have a shield of protection and sitting on 27 AC. Shield rating of 10, evasion 8. That's really bad considering I'm wielding a scimitar. But for now it works, because I think about switching over to lighter armory later on. But for now, the plate armor is a very viable source of resistance to poison, which you really need. We still lack some resistances here. I'm wearing a ring of fire, protection from fire, but the sword has some weakness for fire, so I'm still lacking resistance from cold. Luckily we didn't run into a cold vault on this run. I would have been a bit sad, but everything's okay here. Now, the magic resistance is also a thing to go, so we have a lot of little things to catch up in this run, and that means there's also some things I have to watch out. So, bunch of yak, easy XP. I will circle around the middle area here and hopefully grab some of these enemies out of there. Switching over to the flaming scimitar again, chop up the heads, everything's fine. If you're wielding a shield and wearing heavy armor, this reduces the threat of the Hydra a lot, because you can block some of the heads, and overall your damage reduction helps you a lot with not taking in so much damage per hit. So that's one of the safest ways to go toe-to-toe with a Hydra. And a non-slashing weapon or a fire-branded slashing weapon is really important too. Okay. Another bunch of yak. Something to chew on along the way. It's really good. And here we get closer to the middle area. I'm gonna stick my head through this passage here. New potion. Potion of resistance. Very valuable right now, considering my lack of resistances. This can help me a lot. And I'm walking around the corners here a bit. Gonna bring this Rhyme Drake, and kill it. And there's a frog and a Catobal Pass. That's pretty uncomfortable. He will spit out calcifying dust pretty soon, and this is a bit too spooky for my taste, so I'm gonna remove the Drake here. And I've taken a wrong step. The Catobal Pass will punch me a bit. It's really annoying when that happens. The correct decision would have been to never stand longer than one turn in these calcifying dust clouds. So I think I'm gonna toss this flask on this guy and distract him a little, weaken him a little. Now I have to take this fight very, very cautiously. Swing after swing, and we're done. That's very close. I didn't want to blow up my only heal wound potion here on a situation that's pretty easy to deal with. It's only one enemy, and I just misplayed once here. But everything worked out fine in the end. Catobal Pass are really dangerous enemies down here. So are basilisks. This guy has only a 22% chance to paralyze us. It's actually pretty good, considering the fact that I'm not wearing a single magic resistance item. Must be the experience levels. So there we are. I'm slowly clearing through this area, walking around the corners, taking enemies one by one. I really don't want to fight in that water here. It's pretty suicidal. There's a wind drake. Interesting. These guys are originally only enemies in the shoals. So if you see one, it's either part of a vault or a shapeshifter, if it's not shoals when you're running across. But for this scenario, I think he's part of the vault. Annoying buggers, especially if you're a ranged fighter, because they always come with a deflect missile spell going on. Bunch of merfolk even, that's interesting. The merfolk avatars are, yeah, they're pretty elusive. Their kit is made to kite you around, but if you break the line of sight once around a pillar or something like that, this guy just doesn't want to fight properly here. So we're gonna step here, break the spell, step around the corner, force him onto land where we can chop him down more easily. But even here, the evasion rating of merfolk is something I can't beat too good yet, obviously. Okay, gotta keep that in mind. That's even with a +8 scimitar a problem. Because we have shoals in this run, that's some thoughts I'm already taking. I'm not thinking about taking shoals without some more magic resistance still. That's pretty suicidal. You really need some magic resist against all these luring spells. Helps a lot. Okay. But if we're not gonna find some magic resistance, we're gonna improvise. This game has always a lot of room for improvisation with your items and tool options and spells. It's always fun to find out odd combinations working out from time to time. Okay, seems like we're clearing through this pretty easily. There's a Randard hand axe. Wow. Got some ID scrolls left over, so it's good I ID'd it instead of wielded it to identify it, because it has a drain characteristic, which means I would have been drained if I unwielded it. This is a very nice ring. Resist fire double pip, resist negative double pip. Int -5, that's really annoying considering I really like to put up some spell casting later on. But until then, it's a good option. I mean, right now we're in plate armor and I'm busy leveling up other stuff, so I think it's totally okay. I just noticed that I totally forgot about leveling my shields here. That's really embarrassing. Let's turn up dodging for now. Dodging is really some point I just take some points along the side to bring it up if I ever gonna switch into medium armor to be able to spellcast properly. But until then, it's rather useless. And I really want to invest those experience points into shields here. But luckily, as a Formicid, I only need a level of 9, not 15 for this shield. It's really comfortable being a Formicid with shields. And there's no reason to not wield a shield as a Formicid, because you can't wield 2 weapons, sadly. Although I'm really wondering why this was never implemented. So, we have a rendered plate armor here lying around. Let's try that out. Oh boy, it's pretty sweet, although it's only +0. That's not so sweet. Certainly some useful piece of armor for the mid-game, for sure. That is. So, gonna put this resist poison back on and contemplate a bit about the usefulness of this item. I mean, our lack, our cold, regen, those are really strong characteristics. Although it never can be enchanted, and yeah, there's a bunch of hell rats. I don't want to get swarmed by these. They can drain skills with their damage, and it's really uncomfortable to get swarmed by them. So I rather take this in a corner where there's only one rat at a time. Reduces the amount of draining chances here by a lot. There's some butterflies. I also have animate skeleton lying around. These level 1 spells I really want to pick up. I tend to forget them, sadly, though. Let's pick up Apportation too. But apart from that, maybe the Song of Slaying at some point. Spectral Weapon is also nice from time to time, but I think I'm gonna get rid of these books now. If I ever need them again, I'm gonna find them with the search option. You can also put up in this command line, Control F, every single spell you want to find, and then you will get the correct book linked, which is really useful if you're knowing which spell you want and you just forgot if you saw it along the way. That's also the reason why I tend to auto-drop books on the most characters. If I'm a mage, I'm starting to stash them at Lair 1 usually, to have them all clumped up at one spot. And here goes the center vault. And yeah, if I'm not a mage, I'm just having these lying around. So there's a runed glaive, it's pretty impressive, but we have a greatsword which is similarly powerful. Manual of Ice Magic, that's exotic. I'm gonna put this away, I don't want that. Too exotic for my taste. So we got a new amulet. We want to check okay, I didn't have harm yet, so I really don't want to try this out. We're done with Lair here. We found some new jewelry to try out. Let's put this ring up and see what it does. It's wizardry and strength +4. Not too interesting here. Really not too interesting. And considering that I'm lacking some fire resistance through this scimitar, well, right now I'm at 1 pip of fire resistance. I'd really prefer to have some more cold resistance on top of that, but that doesn't seem to be possible. So I'm just gonna put on the ring of protection from fire here. I'm gonna toss this ring away. If I ever happen to want wizardry, I know where I'm gonna find it. Okay, we didn't need this last ID scroll, so we're gonna ID this. It's an amulet of Guardian Spirit. Right now I'm wearing an amulet of Faith. I think the Guardian Spirit works more for me here. I'm gonna drop this Faith amulet. I don't need this really. I just put it up because it was there and I didn't want to put it down at that point. We're running into dungeon now. Maybe gonna stick our head into Orcish Mines. I think I've cleared out level 1 on the last time, yeah. Okay. So we don't need to wear this poison resistance armor now anymore, or do we? Is it a good idea? What are our options? I can put up the Aralek and resist cold armor. I think that's way to go. For now. It's a bit less armor class though. But I think it's a good thing to take because my resistances are now pretty well rounded. I'm lacking the art poison now. But yeah, there's always something. Got 7 potions of curing on me. And until I run into something very poisonous, I can always cure it away. And if I run into Spider Lair, I can put up this poison resistance armor again. I think that's way to go. And this is a bunch of baddies here. A lot of stuff. Makes me think that this could be a vault, but I'm not too sure. If it's not just a regular mix of evil guys. So first off, I'm gonna pick my flaming scimitar to hack down this Hydra, and then we're switching over to the scimitar the other one, the Randart +8, and finished the rest of these guys. It's really handy to have a flaming sword for a long while. At some point I will be able to bring up this greatsword of flaming, and this goes on here like that. I guess there are more rooms like that. Again, the passive monster detection of the Formicid is a very, very good trait to have. This looks a bit scary to me, so I'm in a lot of trouble here. The melee is really nasty, and I want to avoid to get petrified in her line of sight at all costs. What are we gonna do here? I have digging available, and I have a lamp of fire available, so I think that's the best thing to do. I'm going to toss this lamp of fire this way, so everything standing around here will get burned. So yeah, that worked out. I killed off the basilisk, and now I can kill the melee, which is not too much of a problem. I was only afraid of the combination of getting petrified in front of this guy, and melee can smite. Getting petrified with a smite, with a smiting enemy in sight is really dangerous. Okay, a Tengu Conjurer and a Tengu Warrior. So far, this level is really dangerous. These are some enemies you regularly only face in the depths, actually. They're not too much standard inhabitants of this area down here, but at least it's no Reaver. Okay, cleared this out. Great Sword of Holy Wrath. Well, that's something I want to pick up, so I can drop the Longsword of Holy Wrath. Holy Wrath weapons are really good to have. And we got marked, so let's get out of here immediately. With all these dangerous vaults around, I don't want to get close to this area anytime too soon, but because everything inside these rooms just awoke when I stepped on the alarm trap. Alarm traps are really nasty things. I personally deem them a bit more dangerous even than the teleportation traps. If you're, well, it depends on the situation. But as a Formicid, they are really dangerous, because I'm lacking the ability to teleport like I want to. I'm gonna pick up this rune shield. Really want to have that. And we found the entrance to the vaults. That's why I'm gonna get over here. And here we are, stuck between a rock and a hard place, I'd say. This staircase is not entirely unsafe, yet still these vault guardians here could be swarmed around this area by now. And that's a lot of free hits if I go down there like that. What I'm gonna do now will be stick my head into Orc, I think. I mean, there's still a Rolcha hanging around there, but last time I didn't dare to try out the other staircases because I really felt under-equipped. But for this time, I'm gonna pass out on this staircase. Gonna walk for that. And because Orolcha alone, I think that's doable by now. I have a lot of HP, a lot of AC, lots of good stuff. And yeah, there's Josephine. The good thing about this fight is I'm sitting on 2 pips of resist negative energy. That's really a lot against her, so her fireball won't do much to me. And I'm a Formicid, so these wraiths can slow me. This makes this fight actually really easy for me, luckily. So we can stair dance this, I think. Although I'm gonna step over here to be not surrounded that hard. My evasion rating is not high enough to pull off tricks like that, to get in a lot of riposte hits and take them down that way. Don't want to rely on that. Right now, that's too optimistic. So let's dig into this corner. Another useful trait of being a Formicid. You can always make those little kill holes you need, because you're not wasting any wand charges. You don't even need to wait on a wand of digging. That's why I like this race a lot. They are hard to play in some ways, I'd say, but also you're having some really powerful tools which make your gaming experience very interesting as a Formicid. I really like this a lot. Okay, so we're getting closer to the vicinity where we met Uralcha last time. There's a lot of interesting potions in here. I'm gonna pick up the cancellation of might potions here, because I really like to have these. I think I'm gonna pick up the agility too. And the cure, whatever. I mean, there could be some more shops down here on this floor. And I would be potentially lacking the money to shop here, but it's okay. So that's the other baddie here we met. Okay, I think I'm perfectly able to take this guy down. And I'm also thinking that I'm not needing any further resources here. So what I'm going to do is dig here to have a retreat route open if needed. I'm going to take in a few swings, but it looks like it's a bit of a struggle to hurt him, and he hurts a lot too. So let me think about this. Do I want to use a might potion on this? Might potion is kind of like the only thing I have here. Could also throw this vial of floods into his face, but I really want to keep that for spellcasters. Gonna take in a few more swings, and looks like we're able to take this guy down without a might potion. Hopefully. Well, I could heal wounds here, but I'm actually sitting on a lot more might potions, so let's do this. Didn't want to risk that this situation develops like the last player ghost I faced in the Lair, where I almost died at this staircase. So this time I really wanted to be safe. Rather one less might potion than another of these catastrophic situations I had there. I really don't want that to happen here. Okay. Let's have a check. He's wielding an enchanted broadaxe. That's good, because it means he has no further damage brandings on it. So I think I can take him down safely and easily. The Orc Warriors are mighted, but that wasn't too much of a problem here. Whoops. So we got our shields to level 5. That's really awesome. We're getting closer to the value of 9, which is all we need for now. And I found that ruined shield. Didn't try that out. It's the same, only worse. Okay. I think I'm gonna drop this fire resistance plate armor because I'm really having enough sources of fire resistance on me. The double plus in this ring is really pretty much everything I need. And the other 2 armors I'm carrying around are covering up the rest of my needs pretty well. Maurice, hello there. Annoying little bugger. Let's see if we can banish him. 89%. I'm not interested in this guy stealing my stuff. Okay, a sorcerer. It's potentially pretty dangerous, since they can paralyze me. So we're gonna dig. Dig. Oh, that was not the plan. Dig, dig, dig. Here we are. That's exactly where I want to stand with these guys. It's a nice little kill hole. Perfectly suited for killing all these baddies. And I think even Uralcha will be pretty doable here. Although the 19% chance of banishment are really scary here. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna might into this. I don't want to give her too many chances to actually hurt me. Could have banished her as well, but I think banishing would be better. Would have been the better idea here. But we got away lucky. I also, well, I'm Luke Older follower. I don't need to be that much afraid of banishment. I can leave this place like I want. It's my living room, you know. Sometimes I forget some of these really good advantages of being a Lagoon follower. Okay, so that's a bunch of easy to kill orcs. But I'm gonna kite back into my corner here. Mainly because I don't know if there's any high priests or sorcerers hanging around back there. And they can really mess me up hard. So, shout some. If you're an orc too, without any source of magic resistance, like I am here, it's very, very important to play around the line of sight. But if you do so, it's actually pretty doable. This is a Flail of Draining. Let's kill him off quickly. Okay, this knight is wielding a plain greatsword. Nothing to worry about. Some more priest. Let's stand around that corner, and there goes the first high priest. Broke the line of sight pretty quickly here. Gonna shout. Make sure he has his chance to find his doom back there. And we're gonna get over here. And there's some more priests. I'm not too afraid of their damage anymore. It's only really dangerous if they get in a few consecutive smites. But it's only one smite or such. It's really not much of a problem. Let's bring down this guy here. Okay, it looks like the area down here is the ending here. And we're sitting in the line of sight with the Orcish High Priest in a very uncomfortable angle. He's able to put down as many demons as he likes. Which is something I really don't like when it happens. So I'm gonna rush towards him and start smacking his face. He didn't summon anything too dangerous yet, and I want to keep it that way. In fact, standing right beside them minimizes the risk a bit, because the enemy will be more tempted to take in melee hits. I think that makes a difference. I'm not too sure, and I'm not making false statements here. So we're set with the rest of this floor. Let's bring down the rest of them. I think this corner is really good suited for this scenario here. We want to bring up a safety spot though, if things get really wrong. Okay, so there's the official ending of the level. It's a bit uncomfortable, but these two corners should work. Let's go for the sorcerer. Luckily he's alone, so easy to kill. I think that's gonna be a sharp ending here. We've spent a lot of money on these potions, yet still I think it's money well spent. Okay. I'm really a bit anxious here, because I think we've only cleared the pre-hall here. Yeah. There's another orc high priest. And he summoned a smoke demon. They can smite. This situation is not going well right now. So we're going back here. Here we have the best chances to just smack things when they run into our face. And the smoke demon one-on-one is also no problem, so that was a good corner to fight this. Another orcish priest. Not too much of a big deal anymore. Two orc knights. Okay. They've mited each other. Let's run them across the board a bit. And I gotta be careful about this might buff. 50% damage increase are something not to be taken lightly. Especially on these guys. But they had no branded weapons, so threat was rather mediocre. There goes an orc warrior. Bye-bye, orc warrior. Another knight. Halberd of protection. Luckily that's no damage branding. And I don't know, I feel like this ending should have a orcish warlord at its end. I'm not too sure. Could also be Saint Broca. Saint Broca would actually be pretty challenging But we're still sitting at some might potions, and I think we should be pretty fine here. Stuff goes really south, I can bring up my floor corruption, and then we're gonna see what will happen. Although I don't like to use the floor corruption on floors where I can't shaft myself. It's some nice little emergency escape. Okay, so I took a step too much here, but I really wonder if I don't want to just walk his face here. I'm strong enough to bring him down quickly. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. Yeah, I felt like the most of this area was already cleared, and I was right. I think down this hallway though we will meet some more guys, and that's 2 high priests. Ooh boy, let's take this step by step. They brought up an echo sec. These guys can malmutate you, but only if they have a line of sight with you. So the 6 Fury are pretty quick enemies. This is a very, very uncomfortable situation right now. If I had a haste potion, I would have used it. If anything really terrible shows up, I'm gonna corrupt here. But let's see if we can avoid that. Some aura of abjuration would have been nice, but actually the first demon summons are running out here. And I'm running across this corner and start. I'm gonna go into a might potion here. I really want to bring these high priests down before they have a chance to summon something really terrible on me. As long as I have these might potions, it's really okay to use them. There we go. We're done with this place. So we have some more heal wound potions lying around there. Ambrosia, well, I'm gonna mark it. It's not entirely useless. Lignification, well, I wanna have them actually. Mainly because I'm still lacking resistance to poison. It's really nice to have something like that at my disposal. Some more stuff. This Scroll of Silence is really looking shiny. Magic mapping also very interesting. But I really want to check out the other stores, although it looks like there's nothing here around I want to have. The Box of Beasts could be nice, but I feel like they should be used with a decent evocation rating. Those Phantom Mirrors are good too. Still, I'm gonna go for resources I know I need. So it's a very costly potion of heal wounds there. Yet still, I feel very good having some of these. Okay, so our inventory slots are still able to pick up a few more items, and that's this. We're gonna go for dungeon. What's the deepest we went? 14. I think 14 was this area which was so terribly hard to take, and that's why we're gonna go for 13 first. Getting smacked here by these guys, and that's what happens when I take these fights with surrounding factor. That's why I really try to avoid this as much as I can. Let's get rid of this fruit. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna pack this episode here. Gonna bring this to an end. Only gonna check out which staircases I don't want to take. Yeah. It was the alarm trap situation. And I think enough time has passed to be able to take this staircase again. And gonna wrap it up here. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying this time as much as I do. If you liked my work, leave a little comment or some thumbs up if you like. It would make me really happy to see that. And yeah, I hope we will see each other again soon on the next episode. And until then, see you soon, guys.